achieve crucial victories. Could this be a sign for the 2026 midterm elections?
Prop 50's special election victory now faces legal pushback.
And Trojan alum Kevin Feige makes what's being called a transformational contribution to his alma mater.
Annenberg TV News is next.
In critical elections all across the country, Democrats showed up in numbers and showed out with their votes. Hi, I'm Kajal Reddy.
And I'm Mary Elizabeth. Gubernatorial, mayoral, and special elections all across the nation saw a blue surge in the polls. In Virginia, Democrat Abigail Spanberger, former congresswoman and CIA officer, won the governor's race, making history as the state's first female governor. In New Jersey, the state's governor-elect Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill beat Republican businessman Jack Ciattarelli by a 13% margin. And in California, Democrats won big with the passing of Proposition 50. This win could help put more Democrats in the House in 2026 and may help cement Governor Gavin Newsom's position in his likely run for president.
Voters are upset with the Trump administration, and they treated this election like a referendum on Donald Trump, especially in Prop 50 in California, because the campaign for the yes side so closely tied it to Donald Trump. But even in races where you weren't necessarily a Trump election, like in Virginia, that still definitely played an impact.
Historically speaking, these odd-year elections generally tend to be pretty good indicators of what we see during midterm elections. And so while a prediction would be a little bit risky at this point, there's no question that the Democrats ought to be feeling much better about last night than the Republicans.
In New York, the biggest win came when Zoran Mamdani won by a large margin over Andrew Cuomo, solidifying his position as the upcoming mayor of New York City. He officially becomes the youngest mayor in over a century and also the first Muslim and South Asian mayor of New York. We talked with USC students about Mamdani's victory.
So excited to see those results come in. It was a really good day yesterday, yeah.
Republicans are gonna play dirty tricks and try to redistrict. Democrats can't always have the higher ground. They have to fight fire with fire.
I was really surprised because that was not exactly what I was expecting. I've been following around Zoran Mamdani online because low key, I want him to be my mayor. Our generation, Gen Z, is really seeing oh, we do have the power to make change.
Mamdani's campaign gained more popularity through his use of social media. Using social videos, he explained his policies, showed his personality, and attempted to reach younger voters directly through their screens.
Within the party, there are a lot of disagreements, but what there is agreement on in his approach to campaigning. He ran an excellent campaign. He engaged voters where they were at in terms of new media, in terms of TikTok, social media. That has to be the way forward for the party. There is no other way. If you want to engage young people, if you want to win the young vote, you have to get information to young people in ways that they are comfortable consuming. And that is on social media, and that is on TikTok.
Annenberg Media reached out to Trojan Republicans for an interview about last night's elections, and we have not heard back.
A group of California Republicans filed a federal lawsuit challenging Prop 50. The measure allows lawmakers to temporarily redraw congressional maps to help get more Democrats in the House of Representatives.
The 18-year-old voting for change.
Voters overwhelmingly approved the plan as a response to Republican gerrymandering in Texas. The lawsuit asked the courts to block any new congressional maps. Republicans say proponents used race as a factor to win Hispanic voters. Legal experts say the lawsuit might be too late to succeed.
The timing is such that it might just come too close to the election by the time the court can hear a preliminary injunction motion and decide it. And so it might not affect the 2026 lines, but could potentially affect the 2028 lines.
In a statement, Governor Newsom said, quote, "We haven't reviewed the lawsuit, but if it's from the California Republican Party and Hermeet Dillon's law firm, it's going to fail. Good luck, losers." Prop 50 proponents insist the newly drawn maps will hold up to legal scrutiny.
Mayor Karen Bass has lifted the state of emergency on homelessness in Los Angeles, but some experts say it's too soon.
In some ways, I do agree that things may be moving incrementally in the right direction. However, it's not clear to me that removing this order is substantively going to change or indicates a substantial change in the current crisis. My feeling is that the problem is so vast, so challenging, that we're not quite there yet, and we have a lot more work to do. So.
The mayor says the number of unhoused people has been down for 2 years in a row. She says her Inside Safe program has helped bring 23,000 Angelenos into temporary housing.
So there have been people that have been moved into permanent housing, shared housing, and things like that. However, the need is so great. You have community-based organizations that have housing programs with supportive services where individuals can actually come off the street and move into real homes that will prepare them for independent housing.
Mayor Bass has also said that if needed, she will not hesitate to reestablish the state of emergency.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced that flight delays will be taking place across 40 major U.S. airports by the end of the week because of the government shutdown. The shutdown is now the longest one in U.S. history at 36 days. The shutdown has caused air traffic controllers to work without pay. It's led to a shortage of 2,000 to 3,000 controllers, and that has caused flight delays for thousands of travelers at several airports across the country.
The flights that you schedule and you make reservations for, they may be canceled. There may be fewer flights going into the airports where just about everybody wants to go. It is creating a hazardous condition in an already hazardous due to staffing shortage situation.
Yesterday, more than 1,800 flights flying within, into, or out of the U.S. were delayed. Some travelers are now concerned about plans to fly home for the holidays.
So we're recruiting for my company tonight at 7 o'clock at USC. That's the end of the day. And yet we flew in yesterday because I was afraid that if we tried to fly in today, that we would miss it.
I'm going home for Thanksgiving in a couple weeks, and I definitely am worried about traveling for sure, just because I've heard not great things overall. Like, it seems like the lines are taking forever, planes aren't taking off on time. So, like, if this is what it looks like at this point, what's it going to look like in 3 weeks? I don't know, and I'm kind of scared to know.
Transportation Secretary Duffy says when there will be a return to normal is not clear.
USC researchers are revamping a digital tool that maps access to pharmacies in local communities. The tool shows the growth of shortage areas known as pharmacy deserts across the nation. The dark pink areas on this map show where there are shortages in Los Angeles. The interactive map allows users to look closely at neighborhoods. The newest feature on the mapping tool shows the opening and closing of pharmacies over time.
One of the really new features in the tool we have actually is a way of actually picking out pharmacies that are what we call critical access pharmacies. In other words, like if that pharmacy were to close, you would end up with a new pharmacy desert in a place where you didn't have one.
Local pharmacists say independent pharmacies can provide highly personal care to their regular patients.
It's important for every neighborhood to have access to like an independent store they can rely on for like connection. We have a lot of patients who are like, I wouldn't say family members, but we've known them for so many years like you would know a family member.
If you want to look at the map of independent and chain pharmacies in your neighborhood, create an account on pharmacydeserts.com.
Coming up, the head of Marvel Studios is helping out a CA in a big way.
An award-winning director sat down for a panel in Annenberg today.
And a celebration for first-generation Trojans was a hit on campus. Stay tuned. USC alum Kevin Feige, the producer and president of Marvel Studios, has made a significant donation to the USC School of Cinematic Arts. The production division offers immersive, hands-on training in every facet of filmmaking, from traditional to the latest industry practices. This is Kevin Feige's second major gift to USC School of Cinematic Arts.
It gives both the school and the program a little bit more oxygen and breathing space to assess and reformulate and refigure and respond to the changes that are happening. A significant endowment like this says, we expect you to be here in the future.
Kevin Feige said about USC, quote, "It's where everything began for me as a producer, following in the footsteps of my heroes and walking the same halls as the storied alumni who came before me. I'm so passionate about supporting the next generation of filmmakers."
I think it will give more opportunity for people who might not have the funding to come, giving more scholarship opportunities and uplifting voices who might need it more, and not just that, I think it'll allow us to kind of expand the faculty more.
I think just generally to have upkeep for all of the sound stages and continuously having updated equipment, especially with AI, making more of an impact. I do think that having updated technology, especially in production, will be very important.
The endowment will become the long-term source of support for the school's largest division, now named the Kevin Feige Division of Film and Television Production.
USC Charlotta Bass Journalism and Justice Lab hosted an award-winning writer, director, and producer today. Tevin Tavares talked with students about his career and body of work.
I think that through the films that I'm able to create, you can ask AQs when there's silence in the film, audience is able to digest their thoughts of what they're watching.
Tavares is originally from Oakland, California, and is known for celebrating Black culture and social justice in his projects. His goal is to inspire the next generation.
Pay attention to your energy, pay attention to your vibration, pay attention to your frequency, because that's what's going to take you forward. And when people walk in the room, it's by human nature, they're going to feel it. And if you're able to bring that anywhere that you're on, you're good.
Tavares focuses on themes of representation and cultural celebration in his work. He has directed videos for artists like Kendrick Lamar and Doechii. He has been recognized in publications like Forbes and Black Excellence. Tavares also gives back to the community by offering mentorship and opportunities to young Black creators.
I've known him since I was a freshman here in USC, and I even knew him before I got into the film school, and he was one of the people who encouraged me on that journey. So I'm just excited to support him and learn from him today. I've been on set with him a few times, and just the way that he has his sets are it's almost family oriented.
Tavares is currently working with young and other aspiring artists on an upcoming project about Black fatherhood. He looks forward to someday producing his own feature film.
USC celebrated First Generation College Students Day. This is part of a national effort to spread awareness for students who are the first in their families to go to college. The Trojan Marching Band performed at the event in Hahn Plaza. Attendees got special tote bags. One of the organizers emphasized the importance of first-generation students on campus.
Students love it. I think it's really important to have that level of visibility for first-gen students, right? As a first-gen college student myself, right? It's cool to be able to tell that story and help students see that, it is possible to be successful and have other people that have kind of blazed that trail, right, and been there before to answer those questions when you didn't know where to go or necessarily know what to do.
According to USC admissions in 2015, 13% of freshman students were first-generation students. By 2020, the number of freshman first-gen students surpassed 20%.
I'm a first-gen student myself, a transfer student, so it does mean a lot to me that we're out here doing something for people like me and celebrating us, and we get awarded with a little cookie and a treat.
Sometimes it's great being first gen because I'm able to pass down that wisdom, especially my siblings who will eventually go through college.
Very different
as a first-gen student, and you know, it's just nice to know that like there's people out here who share your story.
The First Generation Plus Success Center also hosted the event. Its goal is to continue fostering a sense of belonging for students.
An exhibition by a USC Roski senior called Heaven is Manoa Valley in the Rain is now on view. Shay Noland drew inspiration from her childhood home in Manoa Valley, Hawaii. The installation features materials like plaster, moss, dirt, and wood. Her hope for the exhibition was to honor her home without creating disturbance.
I feel really, really lucky to have this space. I think it's you know, not every student gets to exhibit in Lyndhurst, and not every student gets to exhibit point blank. So I felt so grateful to be given the opportunity to have this space. For me, my ultimate goal was to connect less about, you know, having to understand Hawaii, but more understanding home and the idea of your home becoming your childhood home.
The exhibition is free and open to the public. It's at the Helen Lyndhurst Fine Arts Gallery through November 12th. And I know that the fall chilly weather is finally rolling in, and so did the new hours of, I don't know why I'm forgetting the name of it, but I know that Chris has more with it for the weather. Sorry about that one.
Mary, it is called daylight savings. Hello, beautiful Trojans, and welcome to the first week of November. My name is Chris Appy, and this is The Climate with Chris. Now, as you know, daylight savings was this past weekend, and everyone asks, when is daylight savings? But no one asks how daylight savings came to be. So here are some fun facts. Daylight saving time was not created by farmers, contrary to popular belief, but was originally implemented during World War I to save energy with one more hour of daylight each day. Also, I know we gained an hour this weekend, but scientists say that your body's circadian rhythm and the darker evenings can result in a more sluggish pace to your body as it adjusts to these new hours. That must be why I am so sleepy. So grab a blanket and let's look at today's weather. It is currently 62 degrees outside, rather cold for Los Angeles weather. It was even a little cloudy this morning with a little drizzle. But let's move on to the 5-day forecast. Thursday, it will continue being cold, but the temperatures should climb from there. 80 degrees Friday, 81 degrees on Saturday, and then it'll peak Sunday before it gets a little cloudy on Monday. And a little birdie told me that it might rain in the 5 days after that, so keep that thought in the back of your mind. And that is it for sleepy weather time. Drew, what's happening with sports?
Hey Chris, so yes, thanks a lot. USC football looks to keep rolling under the lights this Friday night at the Coliseum. Coming up, we recap last night's USC women's basketball game against New Mexico State, where we saw contributions from several new faces. And later, we check in with the red-hot USC women's volleyball team and preview this weekend's matches against Northwestern and Washington.
USG election season has kicked off.
They have a huge game on Thursday, right?
Huge.
Prior to that, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
And a warning tonight about a massive storm heading our way.
We're live here at the Galen Center.
What would y'all do if you had $2.5 million?
Music, art, and women empowerment.
And she put her stamp on Big Ten history.
Those are men swimming like fish.
Thanks for watching.
Annenberg TV News, you never miss an episode.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
So, live from the Halo is USC Annenberg's take on NPR's Tiny Desk concerts. This is like a platform for USC students and adjunct students just to perform and play their music for an audience.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Nikki Thomas.
And I'm Drew Yuskevich. USC's football is back under the lights this Friday night as the Trojans return home to face Northwestern. After a huge win over Nebraska, the Trojans are looking to keep that momentum rolling. The Trojans fought hard in Lincoln last week, pulling out a 21-17 road win behind a strong second half. Quarterback Jaden Mayava showed his mobility, scoring on the ground and setting up big plays through the air. USC's walk-on running back King Miller continued his breakout season with 129 rushing yards and a touchdown.
This is championship November. I mean, this is the time where if you're going to do it, you got to go play your best ball. And we put ourselves in a cool position here. We got a really good record in the league. We're going to play 4 good teams here coming up. I mean, we know that, and so, but those 4 teams are all going to play a pretty good team too.
USC will look to stay hot and protect home field as they make their final push towards bowl eligibility.
Number 18 USC women's basketball opened its season against New Mexico State last night, notching a blowout 87-48 win at Galen Center that featured 4 Trojans in double figures. 3 of those double-digit performances came from newcomers to the squad, including senior transfer guard London Jones, who led USC with a team-high 16 points. Head coach Lindsey Gottlieb had this to say about Jones' leadership and performance.
You mentioned her showcasing all that she can do. We didn't teach her that here, right? I've known London since she's been 12, 13 years old, and I never thought of her as just a shooter, right? She can really shoot, but she has just a lot of dynamic abilities that I think she was looking for the opportunity to take on that role and do more things.
Despite the win, USC has a lot to improve on. The Trojans shot only 40% from the floor and 33% from beyond the arc. Issues with shooting from the field could hurt them in later matchups against ranked opponents. USC will meet one of those ranked foes this weekend when the team travels for a neutral site matchup against number 9 NC State at Spectrum Center in Charlotte. And it's the last month of competition for number 17 USC women's volleyball, and the team is riding a 6-match winning streak going into this weekend's matchups against Northwestern and Washington. The Trojans' last match was a 3-2 win at number 20 Minnesota, their 3rd-ranked victory of the season. Freshman setter Reese Messer recorded a career-high 54 assists, aiding redshirt sophomore outside hitter London Weejay en route to a career-high 25-kill performance. Messer and Weejay have been running up the Big Ten Weekly Awards this season. Weejay has 2 Player of the Week awards, while Messer got 2 nods for Freshman of the Week and most recently was named Big Ten Setter of the Week. The Gophers were a tougher foe than Northwestern and Washington, who USC will see tomorrow and Sunday. Still, the Trojans will need to bring their A game and secure wins in a conference that boasts 7 teams in the top 25.
The LA Kings got back in the win column Tuesday night with a dominant performance. It was a big night for milestones and a statement win that could spark some momentum heading into November. The Kings took down the Winnipeg Jets 3-0, grabbing the first home win of the season. Goalie Darcy Kemper was sharp, having his first shutout of the year. Adrian Kempe scored his 200th career goal, and finally Captain Drew Doughty sealed the win with an empty netter to become the Kings' all-time leader in goals by a defenseman. The Kings improved to 6-4-4 on the season and will look to keep that energy going as they hit the road for their next matchup this weekend. The Kings finally picked up their first home win, and they'll look to keep that momentum going tomorrow night when they take on the Florida Panthers at Crypto Arena. That's all for ATVN Sports. I'm Drew Yuskevich.
And I'm Nikki Thomas. Let's toss it over to news. Kajal, what you got for us?
Coming up, find out the most coveted study spots for USC students. We'll be right back.
Looking for a good study spot? Reporter Cordelia Weld is out and about asking Trojan students where they cram for exams. What's going on, Cordelia?
Trojans are wrapping up their final rounds of midterms this week and next, and I'm here at Levy Library on the patio, one of my favorite study spots on campus, to ask Trojans what their favorite spots are. Whether you're cramming for an exam the night before or drafting a midterm paper weeks in advance, Trojans know that a great study spot is one of the keys to success. From the chaotic courtyard of Fertitta to the sunny village tables, there is definitely not a shortage of places to study on campus. Let's go hear about Trojans' favorite spots. For Annenberg TV, we're live. What are your favorite study spots on campus?
The International Relations Library.
Law Library.
Levy third floor.
I've never heard about the IR Library. How did you find out about that spot?
It's like just next to the public policy building, so we just always go there.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Guys, we're live with Annenberg TV News, and we're asking people what their favorite study spots are. So what are your favorite study spots?
My favorite study spot is upstairs in Kaufman. It's really pretty. You get the best views.
Awesome. Are you a dance major?
No, I can't dance at all.
Okay. And what's your favorite study spot?
Mine is probably my kitchen, so yeah.
Okay. Nothing on campus?
No, nothing on campus because I can make like bulldog ramen in my kitchen.
That sounds like a delicious study snack. Can you make me some?
Maybe, we'll see.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Well, now I need to try some of these spots and maybe have bulldog ramen as my new study snack. Keep fighting on through midterms, Trojans. For Annenberg TV News, I'm Cordelia Weld. Back to you guys at the studio.
Well, thank you so much, Cordelia, for that amazing and active live shot. Look at those running skills.
Thank you for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Kajal Reddy.
And I'm Mary Elizabeth. For more coverage, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time. Good night.